So my dad was a big car enthusiast. He had the fastest drag racing 57 Chevy in the San Fernando Valley here in Los Angeles. And he got married and had three kids in short succession. And you could say kind of lived vicariously through us. And also just he wanted it to be a little league type of thing to do with his family, and it was arguably better than little league, and it was a great formative years in quarter midgets, and we continue to race on pretty well in my professional career.
Incredible. Don't you have a brother in the series as well?
Yes, my brother was racing. He was always about like 1 or 2 seasons ahead of me on the rungs of the ladder, and he moved into IndyCars full time in, I would say, 91. He did kart, and he also raced for Rahal. He raced for Foyt, and he raced for Jonathan Bird in the IRL, and he decided to sit out at midway through the 98. Perhaps he was let go. I'm not quite sure, but that was pretty much the end of his IndyCar career, which was about the same time as mine. And he attempted the 99 500, and Robbie Buell beat him out, bumped him out by like 0.004 of a second over four for 4 laps. It was crazy, but yeah, so my brother was first to get bumped in 99. So yes, and we started racing at the same time. I was 7, he was 11, and we just worked our way up through quarter midgets, and for him, full midgets. And he did, and I did Formula Ford, I did Super V and Indy Lights, and then a couple of kart races with Bettenhausen in 94 as Stefan Johansson's teammate. And in 97, I did got top 10 in the 24 hours of Daytona, top 10 in the 12 hours of Sebring. And then I did the 500 with, as we were discussing, with Dennis McCormick, who was a great team leader for a rookie driver like me. He actually has 3 drivers in total, maybe 4 in that list that I gave you earlier. So he was he's a really good guy, and I really enjoyed racing with Dennis. And then did a couple races with Blueprint in 98, which Guthrie won Phoenix with the year before in 97, and had a disaster of a race in Orlando and did not qualify at Phoenix. And that was essentially the end for me. I would say I officially retired on June 1st, 1998, when I decided to go to work for our family construction business.
That was not long before I was born.
Well, I'm glad that you are as big as a fan as you are for as new of a guy as you are.
Yeah, for sure. So you raced in sports cars? Is that what SVP is or whatever?
Yeah, I did GT3 at Daytona and Sebring, Porsche 911. Yeah.
All right. What made you give up the sport or retire?
So it got to the point that the risk started outweighing the reward. We all know it's dangerous. Lost a couple friends, some good friends along the way, and wasn't sure, being a rookie in a probably back of the third car, which is always the more dangerous ones to drive, and wasn't quite making the money that I wanted to. So I just decided that I needed to move on. I was 32, and it was the right decision at the right time for me.
Okay. What did you do afterwards?
So we have a family business, as I was saying. My grandfather started a bear equipment rental company in San Fernando Valley. It grew to be the largest barrel equipment rental company independently owned in California. But we spun off a company off of that, which has operated equipment rentals, eventually utilities and excavation as well. And my dad ran that company from 1959 to 2018. I started with the company in 1998 and currently leading the company for the last 5 years.
So what do you sell there?
So we're selling service, we're selling professionalism. We are a grading subcontractor to civil contractors and grading contractors, and then we do underground power and communications, also known as dry utilities, furnish and install, and we work in Los Angeles County and Ventura County, mainly for DWP and Edison Designs.
That's amazing. What are your hopes for that company?
The hopes for the company is to be here strong for the next 10 years and waiting for infrastructure bill work to come through in the next year or two and in position to capitalize on that, roads and bridges and broadband, and just keep on doing a little better every year and growing revenue at the same time.
That's incredible. Where can people find you?
You can find our company on the web. Just Google Northwest Excavating. And we're also on Facebook. And I can be reached at LinkedIn.
Incredible. I'll keep those links up for everyone to see because it looks like you're up to big things these days.
Well, we're trying, but thank you. Yes.
Yep. So this is the last question I have for this podcast. How can your journey impact the world?
To be genuine, to have integrity, and to always stay hungry, like my good friend Jeff Krosnoff used to say, and make the world a better place with that.
For sure. God rest his soul.
Indeed.
Yeah, that was a very tough time when IndyCar lost him because it looked like he was going to be a guy that would rock the sport in the years. Yeah. So let's have a moment. Oh, what was that?
Go ahead, please.
So let's have a moment of silence for him, everyone. All righty. God bless Jeff Krosnoff. What were you going to say?
I believe that was a few thoughts ago, and that is now gone, but perhaps it will come back.
Yeah, for sure. So everybody, please check out Robbie Groff on his websites he mentioned, and we'll see you next week for the next episode of SFM.